and happy mid-challenge day, everyone. So we're on day 3 of our Confidently Show Up in Social Situations challenge. That means after today, you're already more than halfway through. I'm sorry, just need to find a comfortable seat. So yesterday we talked about judgment, and I know the homework probably is going to take you a little longer, but I encourage you to still share it in the Facebook group when you're done, because I think it's going to be very interesting to just see what you came up with in this exercise. Now, I had an amazing time with yesterday's training, so if you haven't watched it yet, I really encourage you to go back and watch that and do the exercise, because I think this can do a lot for you and how you perceive judgment and yourself. So, today, as I told you in the email, it's about taking action. So 2 things you're going to need today. One is your workbook, so the PDF that I sent you via email that you can access in the group. So after today's lesson, you can use the workbook to write down what we come up with. And I also want to suggest that you get a pen and paper ready for today's lesson, because I will be walking you through a process that you are probably going to want to take some notes on, so you can, come back to it later when you do the exercise by yourself. So I'm going to let you know when it's time to take notes, but obviously you can take notes whenever you want. Now, before we dive into today's topic, just a quick little other reminder for our Instagram competition. So you can win a prize at the end of our challenge, and that prize is going to be a free one-on-one call with me. So a confidence strategy call where we create a unique strategy for you to conquer a specific social situation that you choose, that intimidates you and that you want to conquer with confidence. So you can win that call with me if you take part in the Instagram challenge. And that is going to look like you posting one takeaway of each challenge day's lesson to your Instagram account. So either your story or your posts. And if you find that a little bit intimidating and don't want to go all out saying, doing this challenge, blah, 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 you can just take any picture you want, add the takeaway, like just a little quote of what you learned that day, and then tag me so I can see it and add that to your story or a post. So yeah, that is the competition. And now let's dive into today's topic of creating powerful narratives. So I'm going to explain what that means. So we have worked on building that base of self-belief and you feeling more at peace with being judged on the first 2 days. Now that's amazing, but there is something that can, get in our way and keep us from making progress, that can fight our newfound sense of confidence and enthusiasm, and that is limiting beliefs. So limiting beliefs is probably a phrase that you've heard before because it gets thrown around a lot. So what is a limiting belief? Essentially, it's just something that you think, something that you believe that holds you back from you pursuing your goals, living your best life. So that can look like doubts about yourself, about a certain goal that you have. It can be fears. So just like the fear of being judged or of what other people might think of you. And insecurities that you have about your own ability, about your plans. So these can creep in and, just gnaw on your confidence. So what we're going to do today is create powerful affirmations that are going to be stronger than your doubts and fears, stronger than your limiting beliefs. So, about the word affirmation, it's just like the limiting beliefs. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot in the spirituality mindset world. And an affirmation is basically something that you can say to yourself, something you can think to yourself. And I want to say that often on this social media kind of level, people often make affirmations something like, I can get the career I want. I am financially thriving. I can get the partner of my dreams. And these can have an encouraging and empowering effect when you are in a state of motivation and enthusiasm. But the thing with these surface level affirmations is that your doubts, your limiting beliefs, can so quickly overcome them. So this happens because these new affirmations that you find, they're on the surface level. They're basically wishes that you have. And these doubts that you have, these limiting beliefs, they're much deeper rooted in your mind. So they've probably been there much longer and they have more power over you. So we don't want that to happen. We want you to have strong, convincing beliefs that you actually believe, that are stronger than your doubts, stronger than your fears, that will help you keep your confidence, that will help you gain more confidence, because you take your roots out, you take your doubts out at the root. Now, this is what we're going to do in today's process. So I'm going to start walking you through it. I'm going to use my notes here because I don't want to forget about anything. So this is also going to be what you're going to do for your homework. Now, you can start making notes now or at a later point where I'll tell you to do that, because I'm going to walk through the whole framework now and going to give you like the short version of it later. So if you want, you can just focus on me walking you through an example now and then make notes later, or you can do it as we go. It's your choice. I just wanted to let you know what's about to happen. So I'm just going to start. And I'm going to repeat what your task for the homework is, so don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. It's all going to be clear when we're done. Now, I came up with this approach for creating affirmations because I noticed for myself that these surface level, I'm going to have the house of my dreams, they don't really work. We want them to work. We want to believe them. We want them to really empower and encourage us. So I came up with this approach that is based on your doubts. So for now, I want you to focus on something that you want, a goal that you have, and the challenging social situation that you have to conquer to get there. Now, I'm going to use the example of you wanting to land that really sick job. So there's a really, really cool job that you really want. Now, what's the challenging social situation that you have to conquer? It's probably going to be the job interview. So what you want is to slay that job interview so you get that really sick job. Now, the next step is to think about the beliefs that you have about this situation. And for now, we are going to focus on the negative ones. So the limiting beliefs that you have, the beliefs that hold you back. And they may look like, I'm shy and it's going to mess up the interview. I'm not good at communication. I'm not experienced enough for this job. There's going to be people better than me. They're not going to like the way I talk, or I don't know what. All these things that can come up. So for today's example, we're going to focus on the phrase, I'm shy and it's going to mess up the interview. Now, what we're going to do with this phrase is we will turn it around and turn it into something that makes you feel empowered, that makes you feel like you can do this, like you can crush this anyways. So I'm going to be using this sentence and give you a few different options of what a transformed belief can look like. And you're just going to notice what we're doing as I'm reading them for you. So, I'm shy and it's going to mess up the interview. One thing you can make out of this is, I may be shy, but that doesn't have to negatively impact my interview. I'm going to be there because I want something, not because I have to. I'm doing this for me, and I want to be successful with it. This desire is stronger than my shyness, and it will support me in the process. Now, that was one option. Another option would be, I may be shy, but I know from experience that it never lasts long. Being a little nervous or holding back in the beginning is normal and okay. I trust that I will warm up soon and become more outgoing as the conversation evolves. And the third example of how you could turn a sentence around is, being shy is not a bad thing. It means that I'm being cautious and checking out the situation. But once I did that, I can feel safe to become more outgoing and say what I have to say. Now, this is just one example for one sentence, like one belief in one situation. I want to let you know that you can do this for any situation, for any belief that you have, and there's always going to be multiple perspectives that you can take on to take your fear away, to take your worries away. Now, just a quick note on what I did here. Essentially, I used this doubt of I'm too shy to do this well, and I looked at it from a different perspective. Is being shy really a bad thing? What does being shy even mean? Why am I shy? Am I going to stay shy throughout the whole interview? And this is what you're going to do for your process. Now, the fact that we're using our doubt as the base for our affirmation is taking all the power out of the doubt. You're not saying, I want this, but I can't. You're saying, this might be the struggle, but because of this and that, I can get through it. Now, we are building beliefs stronger than our doubts. And this is where I'm going to suggest you take notes, because basically what I just said, I'm going to go through it in a simple, short version. So, write this down. Instead of saying, or instead of approaching your situation as, I want this, and then your affirmation going, I am going to get this. And then your limiting belief comes in and is like, oh, but this and that will prevent you from getting there. And then your doubt gains impact and power, and your affirmation loses power, and you lose faith. Now, that's what we're not going to do. This is what, you can learn on Pinterest or wherever. What we're going to do is you're going to take what you want. So I want this. Then you're going to go ahead and think about what could get, or what do I think could get in the way of me getting to this goal. And based on that, you're going to find your affirmation. So you're going to go in your mind like, I know this and this could become an obstacle, but because of blah, 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 it doesn't have to be, and I can be successful anyways. Now, through this process, your affirmation gains power because it takes the potential obstacles into consideration from the beginning, and it focuses instead on your possibilities. It focuses on solutions to your problem that you think in your mind you have. Now, through this, you can feel encouraged and empowered by your affirmation. And any doubt that you have is not gonna come in later because you already, worked with it at the root. Now, I'm going to call this whole process obstacle awareness, because right from the beginning of, having this goal of wanting to do this thing, you're aware of what could potentially get in your way, especially like in your mind, of what parts of your mind could get in the way. And by being aware of that, you're outsmarting your doubts, you're outsmarting the negativity in your head, because you are focusing on it right away. You essentially take any power away from your doubts, from your limiting beliefs, from the negativity in your mind, because you're not shying away from it. You're not hiding from it. You're saying, okay, I see this as a potential issue and I'm going to take it head on. I'm going to see into how I'm good enough and smart enough to conquer this. So that was the process. As I said, you can do it over and over again. That was just one example and one belief. Now, if this is not clear to you, please share any questions that you have in the chat, on the Facebook page, on my Instagram, via email. I hope this was clear for you. Everything you need to know is also in the email you got this morning. So I'm just going to leave you with that and see how you do in your homework, honestly, because you're probably going to have to sit down with it, find your own example, go through the process. I hope you wrote it down. And then we'll just see how it goes for you. All these things take practice. They definitely take practice, but you get used to it. And once you get used to this habit of focusing on the solution, on focusing on finding different perspectives of why you are good enough, why you can manage that, why the thing that you think is so bad is potentially not even so bad, As I said, shyness doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's actually you being very aware of what's happening and you wanting to protect yourself a bit and not, go out there and do I don't know what. So there's always more perspectives than the one that you currently have in your mind. That's a big thing I want you to take with you. Now, I thought I'm just going to give you one general, very powerful affirmation or belief to take with you, because it's something that has helped me approach intimidating situations in the past so much. So I'm just gonna give it to you and you do with it what you want. Now, so if you're afraid that something could happen in your job interview, in your presentation, in you going to an event or starting a new hobby, I want you to consider this. Even if whatever happens, I can still gain something from this whole situation, and that is experience. Because I put myself in this situation, despite the risks, I can learn what to do differently. I can become more used to the situation and therefore become more confident in it, because I know how it works. I know what doesn't work for me. And it can raise my courage because I practiced putting myself out there, and I realized that even though something went wrong, I'm still there. Nothing really bad happened, and I learn what to do next time. I learn what I don't want to do anymore. I learn what it feels like to be in the situation, and all of that is so much to gain. And this has helped me through so many situations, because facts are, things are going to go wrong. Things are, you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. There's going to be something in your way. It always happens. So this attitude right there is gold. There's always something to gain. And that is experience. That is lessons. That is knowing what it feels like. That is knowing what you do and what you want to do and don't want to do. So write this down as well. Even if things go wrong, even if I mess it up, I can still gain from this experience. I can learn, I can get used to it, I can gain courage and confidence. I know that I got it in me to put myself out there. So much to gain, no matter how the situation goes. And I think that's just such a relief bringing, peace bringing, motivating perspective. Now, that is my input for today's lesson. So I know this one was a bit different. It's just like me going through this process. I hope it makes sense for you. As I said, please ask me any questions. And of course, you can simply go back to the replay of this video and just listen to the whole instruction again if something wasn't clear for you right away. Now, good luck for your process. Don't forget to, oh right, I didn't mention like the actual homework for you to post in a group. So what I want you to post for your homework in the Facebook group for today's lesson is simply one belief that you powerfully transformed. So you're probably gonna go through a lot of them, because if you have that one situation that comes to your mind, there's probably gonna be more than one doubt that you have. Probably more than one limiting belief that you have. So you're going to want to go through all of them and transform them, because otherwise it's not going to make that much sense and that much impact. So I want you to share one of your transformed beliefs. You can simply choose your favorite one, your most powerful one, the one that you feel really comfortable with, that you really believe. So share that one in the group. And if there's one that you don't feel so confident about, that you aren't fully sure is going to work for you, you can share that too, and I can give you feedback. You can post whatever. You can post a limiting belief and be like, Maria, I don't really know what to do with this. And I can help you go through the process and we can find something for you together. But for your official homework, I want you to share your one most powerfully transformed limiting belief. Now, that's it for today. Tomorrow, we're going to dive into how to prepare yourself for a social situation that intimidates you, that makes you really nervous. And what we're going to do is find you some SOS tools. So that's going to be mindset as well as little practices that I'm going to introduce to you that you can use on yourself to calm yourself down, to feel prepared and in charge instead of out of control. So that's what's coming up tomorrow. I'm really excited for that. And yeah, if you have any questions, drop them now, drop them later. I can't wait to see your homework and what you come up with. As I said, you'll always have my support if you need it. Don't be shy. I'm nice and I get your struggles. I know what it's like to put yourself out there. But as I said yesterday, there's always like one person who has to start the whole thing, and then the other ones will be like, oh, it's fine to post actually, and it's fun and we can learn from it, so do it. I really, really encourage you to do it. The most beautiful thing about all of this is community and being able to support each other and learn from each other. Now, thank you for being here today. Have fun with your homework. This is like a great thing to do for yourself. So enjoy the process. Take your time, get used to it. It's not something that's going to go like this right away, but everything that's worth having will take some time, and some effort. So get going with this. Don't forget to share in the Facebook group. And I can't wait for tomorrow's lesson. Have a good day. I love you.